Oscar! I haven't seen you since we renovated Big Ben's Cafe in London.
Nice to see ya!
Last I heard, you were sent to South Asia.
I hate it here! Send me back!
Have you been reunited with Ben? Is he still on the run from those East End gangsters? Who's there? Hello? Anyone out there?
Move along!
But
Nothing to see here!
Stop
sticking your beak in!
Okay. Jeez, you really don't want me looking in there, huh?
Curiosity killed the cat!
Methinks the parrot doth protest too much. Bean, am I crazy, or is it possible that Ben is hiding out there and Edgar doesn't want me to find him? Well, if there's anyone out there listening, I'll just be here, working on the dog park, starting with the sandpit. Bean, if Ben is out there, I need a way to flush him out. I know. Rose said he loves books, right? Now that I'm done with the sandpit, maybe I'll relax with Edith Blake's seminal novel, Murder at the Aviary. This copy is actually a first edition. It's extremely rare and valuable. Completely one of a kind. Shame I spilled Coca-Cola on it earlier. Well, I guess I'll just open it up and read it in the harsh Balinese sun.
No! You fool! Sunlight will damage the book!
Ha ha! I knew that would get you to come out. I've heard a lot about you, Ben. Pleasure to finally meet you.
You mean there is no Edith Blake first edition?
Nope.
You tricked me!
I had a hunch that a bibliophile like you wouldn't be able to stop yourself from defending a vulnerable book.
My love of literature, my only weakness.
I need to build a doghouse. While I work on it, would you care to explain why you're hiding in the jungle?
Because of you.
You horrible old bat!
Huh? What do you mean you're hiding out because of me?
I spent months planning how I would fake my own death. I carefully laid red herrings. I dropped my wallet in the Thames.
Herrings? Yum, yum!
But then you came along and started poking around and dredging everything up. The criminal lowlifes I was running from got wind of your investigation and started to suspect that I wasn't really dead. My plan was to disappear to Bali for a few months and then return to England when everything blew over. But because of you, those lawless ruffians are still searching for me, so I have to stay in this godforsaken place.
But Bali is one of the most beautiful places in the world. There are lush jungles, gorgeous beaches.
I hate beaches. The sand completely destroys books, and don't even get me started on the humidity.
Each to their own, I guess. I need to build a roof for the doghouse. While I do that, why don't you explain what you've been doing out here all this time? Wow, the doghouse is really coming together. What shall we do next, Bean? Good idea. A ramp and slides would be awesome. So, what have you been doing in Bali all this time?
I've been undercover as a tourist.
Oh, cool! So you've been getting a tan? Seeing the sights?
A tan? Goodness, no. The whole affair has been dreadful. I'm living in a hostel.
What's so bad about that?
No peace or quiet, because travelers are endlessly trying to befriend me.
Sounds awful.
I try to scare them off by being rude, but they misinterpret it as gruff British charm.
Charm? Now that does shock me. Ben, you've explained what you're doing in Bali, but what are you doing here, at the resort?
I'm here to look for proof
Of what?
that certain individuals are tied up in something bad.
What's that got to do with the resort?
Everything.
I don't understand.
Piper, who owns this resort and all the other pet cafes you've renovated?
The neighborhood pet centers.
Right. And the Neighborhood Pet Centers is a global brand attracting a loyal fan base. A coterie of rich business people who travel the world in order to visit each and every pet cafe. You know them as...
The VIP club.
Precisely. Well, haven't you ever observed anything peculiar about them?
Let me think about that while I set up a swing. Now that you mention it, I have noticed weird things about the Neighborhood Pet Center's VIP club.
Very odd, very odd.
They don't seem like real pet cafe fans. They have a strange, spooky energy, and at the Hollywood VIP party, they refused to appear on camera. But weirdest of all, after the party, we caught one of them selling a fake celebrity Bengal cat.
While we're on the subject of cats,
Meow.
what about that fat lazy thing I've seen following you around?
You mean Bubbles?
Yes. Where did she come from?
I'll tell you while I put out some toys. Nina found Bubbles outside Stony Point Pet Cafe.
And that spiteful little creature belonging to Rose?
Aggie? Rose said she found her near Big Ben's cafe. Why are you asking about Bubbles and Aggie?
Don't you think it's a rather big coincidence that stray pedigree cats keep turning up next to the pet cafes? And that you caught a VIP selling a fake celebrity cat?
You're right. It does seem strange. But what does it mean? Ben, what are you hinting at with all this talk of the VIPs and the stray pedigree cats?
Aren't you supposed to be a detective?
No, I'm a pet cafe consultant. People just think I'm a detective because I'm nosy.
Come blimey, you nosy Parker!
Well, you better get thinking if you want to crack this case.
Can't you just tell me?
Where would be the fun in that?
I'll think about it while I add a food station and a drinking fountain. Rose mentioned Ben was a bit of a grump, but I never imagined he'd be this infuriating. He hates Bali, he despises people, he loathes cats, and he's intentionally obtuse. No wonder he ticked off those criminals.
Have you unraveled the mystery yet, Piper?
No, I'm working. Why do you even care if I solve it?
Because, although I'm ashamed to admit it, I need your help. My investigation has come to a dead end.
If you really want my help, why don't you share your information, rather than tease me with riddles?
Firstly, because I find a certain degree of satisfaction in irritating you. And secondly, because I'm not sure whether I can trust you yet. I need to test your mettle first.
My phone! Yay! Sean and the others are heading back from the shoot.
Piper, you have to tell them to stay away. Don't you understand? I'm in hiding. If I was going to tell anyone I was here, it wouldn't be your boyfriend.
Who would you tell?
Imtiaz Shah.
The owner of the hotel in London? I didn't realize you two were so close.
I've known Imtiaz since I was a child. Since my dad passed away, he's been something of a father figure. But I can't see him because he's in England, and I'm too scared to call him in case his phone is bugged. I want to check on him, ask how his leg is doing, find out how he celebrated Pakistan winning the Cricket World Cup.
Don't what?
Feel sorry for me.
Okay, fine. I think I'll install the fountain base. Right. Now I'm done with that, I can install the fountain. Bean, have you noticed that everything Ben's saying sounds very familiar? World travel, pets, dodgy business dealings. It's just like what Nina said about Al. But it couldn't possibly be that. Could it? Ben, are the VIPs involved in animal smuggling? Ben, tell me, is the neighborhood pet centers involved with animal smuggling?
Finally. It took you long enough.
But that's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. The whole NPC ethos is about loving pets. What makes you think that it could possibly be involved in animal smuggling?
When I was the manager of the tea room in London, I came across some documents. It seems that almost since its inception, the NPC has been linked to the unlawful disappearance of animals. When the smuggling ring caught wind that I was onto them, they wanted to shut me up. Hence the whole fleeing to Bali fiasco. Now, I'm trying to figure out who the ring's linchpin is.
Do you have any suspects? Tell me while I add a fountain statue. Who exactly is behind the smuggling ring, Ben?
I have my hunches.
But you don't want to share them.
As I said, I don't know if I can trust you yet.
Can't trust it as far as you can throw it!
And anyway, it's family business.
A family business? What do you mean?
I hoped you would have greater powers of deduction than this, Piper. I thought you said you were a detective.
No, I said I was nosy.
What good is being nosy if you can't solve a simple mystery?
Use your noggin, old girl!
Ugh, I'm sick of your mystery. I'm going to turn on the water. The fountain looks fantastic, Bean. Next, let's work on building some pathways. Wait a second. Something doesn't add up here. You said you fled London because the animal smugglers discovered you were onto them, but I thought you left London because you found some gangster treasure.
Oh no, that wasn't a big deal. The treasure was mine by right.
What do you mean?
You're not going to be pleased when I tell you this, Piper, but that's also family business.
Ben, will you stop being so cryptic and
Stop being so cryptic!
tell me what on earth?
What on earth?
Wow, it is surprisingly challenging to have a conversation with Edgar around. How did a solitary guy like you end up with a parrot like Edgar? How did a quiet, reclusive man like you end up with a raucous parrot like Edgar?
He belonged to my great-aunt Dottie. I inherited him after she died.
Were you and she close?
Aunt Dottie was lovely. She was the only person in the family who didn't criticize me for always having my nose stuck in a book. I spent a lot of my childhood at her house while my father was busy working for Imtiaz. I have fond memories of those days. Aunt Dottie would be knitting, I would be reading, and Edgar would be, well, Edgar.
What a good boy!
It might sound strange, but I find his incessant squawking comforting. It takes me back to the days at Aunt Dottie's. A roaring fire, a mug of hot chocolate, a nice long book. Doesn't get much better than that.
Sounds like you and Dottie were very close.
We were. I miss her every day.
But wait a second, why am I telling you all this?
Stop making me open up to you with your sympathetic demeanor and kind-hearted curiosity.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Look, I'll do something else. I'll, put out some benches. The benches look great. The only thing the pet park needs now is a sign. But first, I want you to explain what you mean by all this talk of family business.
Piper, if you just think for 1 second about my family, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I don't know anything about your family. How am I meant to— Oh my gosh. I just remembered something. You're related to Donnie and Dickie Frazier, the East London gangsters.
Regrettably.
But that's not all. Oh my gosh. I've been so stupid. I can't believe I forgot. Della was married to Donnie Frazier. She's your great aunt.
Correct. Della is my great-aunt. By marriage, I would like to stress. She is no blood relative of mine.
What's your problem with Della?
I never liked my low-life uncles Donnie and Dickie. Why any woman would marry one of them beggars belief. Della always acted like she was doing me a favor by entrusting me with the cafe. But I suspect she had some ulterior motive. Besides trying to stop me being the family layabout.
Cheeky man!
Wait, but you're not investigating Della. You can't possibly think she's behind the animal smuggling.
Don't be fooled by her cotton candy exterior. Della Vanderboten is a slippery character.
Believe me, I know Della might be a lot of things. Mercurial, eccentric, evasive. But an animal smuggler? I just can't see it. She loves animals. Almost as much as me.
Piper, I can see your heart is in the right place, and I'm starting to believe I can trust you.
You can.
Well then, I have to tell you what this entire thing is really about.
What is it, Ben? What do you have to tell me?
I have to tell you. Oh no, what was that? Is that
Intruder alert! Intruder alert!
Oh, someone's coming.
Dina! Dina!
Don't tell anyone you've seen me. I have to hide.